Do you have rules that you live by, that you stick to no matter what? What are they? Where do you get them from? And should you still be following them? Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Wallace Russell from CoachWallaceRussell.com. We use values and principles interchangeably, so I'm going to provide the definition for both. The definition of the word values is the principles that you use to decide what's right and wrong and how to act in certain situations. The definition of the word principles is a moral rule or belief that helps you know what's right and wrong and that influences your actions. Now, we all have our own values and principles that we use to govern our life, but where do we get them from? When I was in elementary school, they asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up. And I remember this very clearly, and they asked us a lot, so I would change it as I felt like I learned more, got more information. And I went from scientist to mathematician, and I was really good at math, so I figured mathematician might be something. But after a while, I landed on lawyer. And I stuck with that for a while, and sort of played with that as a real thing. And I shared that with my parents and my family. And again, I was only in elementary school. But one day, my grandmother, my father's mother, my Nana, came to me and pulled me aside and gave me attention I didn't normally get from her. And she said, "Baby, I don't want you to be a lawyer because lawyers lie." And that changed everything for me. After that, I was not going to be a lawyer anymore. It was over with, and I already had a viewpoint on what lawyers were, and it wasn't good, and I stuck with that, and that became my definition and relationship with the job of being a lawyer or what lawyers were, my value or my principle for many years to come, far into my adulthood. It was a value in my neighborhood that it was wrong to steal from a person, but not so bad to steal from a store or a business because it was a victimless crime. So I went along with that. That's what everyone around me seemed to think, at least closer to my age anyway. And so when I took from a store, I didn't feel bad until I got caught. They kept me, they called my parents to come get me, and I got beat within an inch of my life when I got home. And punishment on top of that. And that changed that changed my value on how I view taking from a store. That even though there was a good chance I would not be caught, that small chance that I would, what would happen if I did get caught was so unacceptable that stealing became not an option. And that set my value again for years to come. Sometimes values are handed down with purpose. It was good enough for your grandparents, it ought to be good enough for you. This is more like tradition. Most of our values are formed as a child, and we carry them to adulthood where they often remain values and principles throughout the rest of our lives. We fight for them. We wear them proudly and defend them from any assault. This is how I live my life. This is who I am. And we hold on to them even if they get into the way of achieving our dreams. We hold on to these values and refuse to let them go. Here's an example. Family first. This is a very worthy and very accepted value that most people have. You put your family before all other things. It is what your family puts into you and what you hold on to. But what happens when putting family first puts you in a bad situation? What happens when putting family first gets you in trouble with the law? What happens when family first gets you in trouble with money? when you can't do what you need to do to live your life? What happens when family first gets in the way of your growth and development? Do you just choose family first and that's it? When we make these decisions, consciously or not, about what our values are, we are usually children. It's put into us, we are impressionable, and we don't know a lot, and we especially do not know ourselves. So we pull in all of this information so that we can shape who we are and who we become. But as an adult, we get to actually make a choice. We get to choose. We are informed. We are intelligent. So if we still hold on to the values that our childhood created for ourselves and don't update them as adults, as intelligent and learned people, then we are living the life of a child to a certain extent. And because of that, it becomes harder to achieve and obtain larger and greater things because our values hold us back. I am not saying that values are bad. I'm saying perhaps you can either remove them or make an adjustment. In my earlier example, I said family first. But if I adjusted that to say family first as long as it doesn't interfere with my health, or family first as long as it doesn't interfere with my children's needs and development. See, that's adjusting it based on knowledge and experience. And sometimes we hold on to these values so much that we won't make an adjustment that will allow us to be free. Sometimes we hold on to a value and what we need is over here and we can't get there because holding on to this value won't let us get there. I'm not saying that values are bad. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have them. You should. But they should serve you, not you serve them. You don't serve your values serve the life that you want. So here's my suggestion. Often my suggestions tell you to write things down. This is no different. Write down your values. What are your values? Family first, pray before you eat, do unto others, whatever they are, write them down. Because you can't change them or adjust them when they're in here. You have to write them down and adjust them and change them and then reintegrate them. So you write them down. And then you find, do these values serve the you that you want to become? Do these values help you become the great person you can be? If they do, there's no need to change. If not, there's an opportunity to adjust them and change them so that they serve you, so that following and holding on to these values help you become who you want to become. It's very frustrating when you want to be something and your values will not allow you and you seem to have to choose between the two, and that feels like an impossible choice. It is. The values of a child will not let you become your ultimate self. The values that you had as a child, when adjusted with your experience, with your life, with your learnedness, can assist you in becoming your greatest self. So, what are your values? And are they helping you get to the life you want? If you care to, please consider sharing your values in the comments below. I'd really like to hear them. And maybe we could talk about them. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. As always, your energy and your time is appreciated. If you have comments or suggestions, please put them in the comments below. If you'd like to consider working with me as a life coach, there's a link below that will set you up a free consultation. It will cost you nothing, and we can talk and see if there's something that we can do together. Please continue to support this channel, and if you'd like to see more, if you'd like to see something else, let me know so that I can try to bring that to you. Again, I do appreciate your energy and your time, and we'll see you next time. Take care.